What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? We're back at it again with another video here of the Arizona Sports Fan. Yes, live edition. How is everybody doing in the chat currently right now? Hopefully everybody is having a fantastic Thursday at this very moment. Now, yes, I am going live here at 4 p.m. AZ time / Pacific time. The biggest reason why is because obviously there is a game today at 5:15, and that is going to be the Chiefs versus the Chargers. So I definitely want to go ahead and see that. I'm very excited to talk about this game here for the Arizona Cardinals. We will be talking about week 2 matchup. That's going to be the Raiders versus the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm absolutely stoked, right? Any chance we get, any chance of an opportunity for the Arizona Cardinals to take on the field, I'm excited. I'm all game for. So we're going to talk about, not so much key matchups, but we're definitely going to go ahead and talk about, keys to success for this Arizona Cardinal team. We're going to talk about X factors that I really believe need to make that extra step, and also predictions, right? Before we get started, definitely do me one huge favor. Smack the like button. If you guys haven't already, we should at least have 10, 16 likes on this video. I'd appreciate it. It does help the channel grow out tremendously. So definitely smack that like button if you guys haven't already. If this is your first time here, subscribe. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're on the road to 10K, and I can't do it without you guys. We are going to talk everything Arizona Cardinals today. What's up to everybody in the chat? I see, is it Lindo, Ernesto, Nick L? What's going on? Lennon, what's happening, everybody? Appreciate you guys for stopping in. Let's dive right into it, right? We're all here to talk about Cardinals versus Raiders. The next big matchup for the Arizona Cardinals heading into week 2. We all know how week 1 ended, and a lot of people weren't happy with how that ended, right? And I'm right there with you guys, and you can tell me your frustrations on the comments if you'd like. But yes, I'm right there with you, right? The same level of frustrations lean on me as well. And at this point, just literally want to turn the page. I want to focus on week 2, and hopefully, because we're getting a lot more healthier, we're starting to hear maybe Zach Ertz is going to be at a full capability, because he did play week 1, but he was more of a snap count more than anything. Now, JJ Watt looks like he's trending in the right direction. Now, we did have some players that did not practice today, which is a little concerning, right? Being that today is Thursday, but I mean, we're going to kind of, chug along to see how it's going to all play out. The people that didn't practice today, which is notable people, Andy Isabella, right, wide receiver, Rondale Moore, which is a player that was hurt last week, and then Jalen Thompson, were all players that did not practice for the Arizona Cardinals today. Now, we still have other days for practice, right? Anything can change, right? We don't want to freak out too much, especially because we got 3 days away from week 2 kicking off. So let's dive right into it. Let's talk about this whole situation, right? Keys to success. I want to talk about what you guys feel like is the key to success for this Arizona Cardinal team to come out with the win. Because as of right now, we got two teams currently at 0-1, right? The Arizona Cardinals are 0-1. We got the Raiders at 0-1. And both teams have, I wouldn't say the ability, but should have the level of concern of possibly being 0-2 heading into week 3, right? There usually is only one winner. Now, I don't want to tie. I don't want to, wish that upon anybody. No ties. Hopefully there's going to be a winner and loser, and I hope the Arizona Cardinals comes on the right side of things. Now, here are my keys to success for this Arizona Cardinals to have success against the Raiders. This isn't going to be an easy task. It isn't. This is going to be pretty tough. That team looks pretty good. That team looked a lot better than the Arizona Cardinals did, in week 1. Now, granted, a lot of teams look better than the Arizona Cardinals. I'm only hoping because it was week 1, we have a level of, hey, right, let's not worry about it too much. It's week 1. We're going to kind of scrap it up and let's see what the rest of the year kind of holds for us. That's what a lot of us are kind of holding our hats on at this very moment. So keys to success. To me, for this Arizona Cardinal team, I do think it's imperative that the Arizona Cardinals come into this game with the thoughts of running that darn ball. Now, this should have been the game plan for week 1. I just said I don't want to talk about it, but there it is. There I do it again. But this should have been the game plan coming into week 1. And that's exactly how I think we should be treating week 2. Running the ball should be key. James Conner should be running the ball. Eno Benjamin should be running the ball. Heck, even if Darrell Williams comes in and gets an opportunity, should be running the ball. I think that's the way that this offense should kind of maneuver themselves into, right? Form their new identity into. And especially because we do not have DeAndre Hopkins, the way week one looked like, it looks like it's kind of like the jury is out, right? Like we don't do very well without DeAndre Hopkins. And it sucks to say. I'm only hoping it's week one, and I'm going to keep saying that throughout the entirety of the stream, but that's the way the Arizona Cardinals should play this game, by running the darn ball. Now, if we are in a 3rd and short, that means 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Please do not chuck the ball deep. Let's play for the first down. That's probably how we should have been doing it to begin with. Play for the first down and live to see another down. Make sure that our defense gets the most rest they possibly can on the sidelines, because what I'm seeing is just a lot of doing a little too much, right? Getting out of the field, right? Not converting the 3rd downs. And being that our offense is not staying on the field hurts our defense. Now, our defense hurt themselves, right? Let's be honest. Our defense looked really bad in week one. Vance Joseph came out and actually said, he made some comments about Isaiah Simmons. Not very friendly comments, if I might say so myself. Not very friendly comments, but comments being that he just didn't play very well in week one. And I think, right, it didn't take Vance Joseph, right, 3 or 4 days to look at the tape to really realize that Isaiah Simmons didn't play very well. I think we all knew that. Now, it's kind of a tough ask to ask for Isaiah Simmons to guard Travis Kelce, but that's really what he was drafted in here to do. So, being that this is his 3rd year in this Cardinal organization, I really would love and hope for him to take that extra step, to start being able to cover any tight end, right? Now, there's going to be some instances where you play those really, really tough ones, right? Your Travis Kelce's, your your George Kittle, your Waller, which we're going to be playing this week as well. I have a fear that we're going to kind of be in the same situation that we were against week one, where, Isaiah Simmons' primary job is to cover Waller. He had a really tough time. Now, granted, I do think that Travis Kelce is better than Waller. I do. More Pro Bowls, more time in the NFL, has done more than Darren Waller has. But I do think that Isaiah Simmons' primary job is going to be that. So there was that, right? Back to the keys to success for the Arizona Cardinals here, running the ball. Now, I've been talking about the evolution of this offense for quite some time. I would love this Arizona Cardinal offense to evolve to what we have seen so far. And what have we seen so far, right? We have seen an Arizona Cardinal team that primarily on offense stays in shotgun at least 90% of the time. I would have loved to see so far that we would mix up our formations. I would have loved for this Arizona Cardinal team to really look into here and maybe start using some bootlegs, maybe start using a lot more under center. I'm starting to think either A, we just didn't see enough of our offense for them to change the formation, and that's possible, right? It honestly felt like our defense was on the field a lot more than our offense was. If you take a look at the time of possession, it was absolutely disgusting to see how much time possession was between the Arizona Cardinals compared to the Kansas City Chiefs. It was definitely disgusting. So maybe that was what it is, right? Our offense probably wasn't on the field very much, so they kind of had to do with what they can, and that's why it was a lot of shotgun. But I want to kind of get to a level of evolving this Cliff Kingsbury's offense with under center, with bootlegs, with doing stuff like that, and not always being in shotgun a lot. Now, this is the 4th year, right? You would think that we would be getting a level of that already. We haven't quite seen it yet, but that's another big key to success, in my personal opinion. We got to do it. We have to. I think the jury is out on this offense. People know how to stop the Cliff Kingsbury's offense. So far with what we've seen in week one, it really wasn't different than what we've seen towards the end of last year. It really wasn't. So I would honestly really love for the Arizona Cardinals to mix up formations. Get involved more with the bootlegs. Get involved more with having Kyler under center. And I know there's been this big thing saying that Kyler Murray doesn't want to be under center. Maybe even Cliff Kingsbury doesn't want to be under center. We really got to start looking ourselves in the mirror. The same thing that everybody's been talking about throughout the entirety of this, week leading up to week 2. We didn't do enough, right? That's what everybody's been saying. We didn't do enough in week 1. We got to look ourselves in the mirror. We got to make sure if complacency is the way that we want to go. We really need to evolve this offense. We do. So, number 1, run the darn ball, especially because we don't have DeAndre Hopkins. We know what we look like without DeAndre Hopkins, and it doesn't look so good, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't look very good. 2, if we haven't already in this offseason planned some sort of different formations, then I honestly don't know where the head of this head coach is, honestly, with Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know where to go from there. This offense should have shifted to a run-heavy offense without DeAndre Hopkins here. That's what it should have done. Those are my keys to success. Now, Kyler Murray needs to have a huge game too, right? I have confidence in the world of Kyler Murray having a huge game, but I do think it should start with the run game. Opening up the run game will open up play actions. Chuck the ball deep down the field. Run game will also open up, bootlegs as well, right? Kind of a play action, play. I do feel like we got to use our tight ends a lot more as well. I think that's another big key to success. Now, we did see Zach Ertz get a touchdown during garbage time last week, right? In week 1. But we need to get them involved from the beginning. Absolutely need to get them involved from the beginning. So we'll have to kind of wait to see how this all shakes out, right? How this is going to be handled. Now, to me, the defensive plan against Patrick Mahomes was absolutely absurd. Like, it made no sense why Vance Joseph thought it was best for them to blitz Patrick Mahomes. One of the best quarterbacks at, handling the blitz. One of the best. And we saw it. So I hope we can learn from that. Now, I get it. Vance Joseph can only really do with what he has available to him. He only has what he has available to him. It's true. I would really love and hope for an opportunity for this Arizona Cardinal team to be a little bit more prepared coming into this season. We all talked about it. We all talked about the level of concern in the cornerback role. We all talked about a level of concern in the edge position role. Although, they drafted a lot of young players and we got a second-year player in Victor Dimikici, but we're not playing them. Why not? Play them. If we're not getting pressure, mix it up. I understand Marcus Golden got, an extension, and I still love Marcus Golden. I really do like Dennis Gardick as well, but why not use these young, hungry players that have that high motor, right? Show me Victor Dimikici. Show me, Majay Sanders. Show me Cam Thomas. That's what I would love to see. So, keys to success, right? We got some new people coming in here. James Conner needs to be it, or at least the run game. We got a lot of great running backs. We really do. The evolution of this offense, and by that I mean different formations, bootlegs, under center, that type of stuff. And third, get the tight ends, get the tight ends involved soon. Get the tight ends involved early and soon. So those are my 3 keys to success for this Arizona Cardinal team to actually get this win for this Arizona Cardinal team, because there's some people already saying we might not make it one win until we face the Seattle Seahawks. There's some Cardinal fans out there that are saying this, the Arizona Cardinal team, the way we looked like in week 1, we're not going to have a chance to get a win. So we need to make some changes in week 2. It's imperative. The days of, oh my God, it's just week 1, is over. This is where we need to make those adjustments and change. Now, let's talk about the X factors for the Arizona Cardinals here. There's some huge X factors that I feel like the Arizona Cardinals have to get involved early. Now, I want to talk maybe 2 X factors for the offense and 2 X factors for the defense. Now, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball first. So far, it looks like Trayvon Mullen is going to play. So far, right? We've heard some good things. We haven't heard officially yet, and I'm aware. Don't crucify me on the comments, ladies and gentlemen, but it feels like Trayvon Mullen is at least trending in the right direction. So one of my X factors for defense, Trayvon Mullen. Let's see what he can be for this Arizona Cardinal team. We need him to step up. We absolutely do. Right now, we're sitting in a world where our GM, Steve Keim, doesn't feel like he needs to do anything. Don't ask me why, but he feels like he doesn't need to upgrade anything on this roster. Don't ask me why, but that's the way with what his actions has done so far. He believes that he doesn't need to do anything to make this roster better. So Trayvon Mullen is my first X factor on the defensive side of the ball if he plays. So it's contingency if he plays. It seems like it's trending in that direction. So Trayvon Mullen. Second X factor, Isaiah Simmons. And I said this last week as well. If we can get Isaiah Simmons to be that player that everybody wants him to be the player that, that he was labeled a star, linebacker for, that's what I would love to see from Isaiah Simmons. Now, he didn't have a great game against Kansas City, but nobody really did, right? Nobody really did. So it's kind of hard to put it all on Isaiah Simmons. He got a taste of reality, got punched in the mouth, and he didn't know how to rebound. So for my defensive side of the ball, my 2 X factors that really need to make a step up for this Arizona Cardinal team on defense, A, Trayvon Mullen with the contingency that he will be playing this game, and B, Isaiah Simmons. Now for my offensive side of the ball, being that Rondale Moore still didn't practice today, I still do feel like Rondale Moore probably won't play. Now, he had a hamstring issue, which it just happened, like 2 or 3 days before the season started, right? He ended up going to MRI. He said, Cliff Kingsbury said that he was optimistic 50-50 chance, and he wasn't there. So my first X factor for the offensive side of the ball, Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch had a really good game. Greg Dortch had a very good game against the Kansas City Chiefs. He did. Let's take a look at his stats here in terms of what he had against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know sometimes, right, it's hard to really look at stats, especially because we got beat as bad as we did. Like the score was 44-21. Ladies and gentlemen, this score should have been 44-7, right? They let up. They were playing soft. The Arizona Cardinals got some, gimme points. But other than that, it was more pat statting more than anything. But Greg Dortch was 7 receptions and 63 yards. 7 receptions and 63 yards. That's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good for a small receiver, right? That's what we wanted from Andy Isabella. That's what we wanted from Rondale Moore. And lo and behold, Greg Dortch comes out here and is looking absolutely fantastic. We called it in the preseason, right, boys? Well, in the preseason, we're saying Greg Dortch is going to be something to watch. And it translated. It translated to the regular season. 7 receptions, 63 yards. He led the team in receptions. The person that was right under him was Marquise Hollywood Brown with 4 receptions, 43 yards and 1 touchdown. And then right after them, there are running backs. No other wide receivers. This was the time for Andy Isabella to come out here and shine. It was. And that's the thing. You got to take advantage of your opportunities. And if you don't, you're going to find yourself sitting back in the bench. Andy Isabella had a very, very good preseason. It's just for some reason, it doesn't translate to the regular season. That or he just didn't get a lot of playing time, which I don't honestly think he did. But when he did on the field, he just didn't do very much. So didn't take advantage of his opportunity. So my first X factor for offense, Greg Dortch. My second one, it's going to be a really obvious one. Kyler Murray. Obvious, right? The moment that Kyler Murray does very well, when Kyler Murray isn't flustered, Kyler Murray has a fantastic game. When Kyler Murray has a fantastic game, for the most part, the Arizona Cardinals win. So I want to see my two X factors in this game versus the Raiders. Greg Dortch keep killing it because he's doing fantastic so far in this regular season, as well as Kyler Murray have a very good game. Now, obviously, the contingency of Kyler Murray having a good game is also the offensive line, right? They need to hold up. Justin Pugh looks like it's trending in the right direction. Rodney Hudson, for some odd reason, doesn't feel like he needs to practice. I'm not sure if that was the plan, right? I'm not sure if that was the contingency of the Arizona Cardinals and Rodney Hudson. Hey, you can come back, please. You don't have to practice anymore. Maybe. I don't know. But week 1 is finally over. Those are my two X factors for offense. So let me recap again. Greg Dortch and Kyler Murray. Defensive side, Isaiah Simmons, because he's going to be covering Darren Waller, and Trayvon Mullen, with the contingency that he's starting to play this week. Because it sounds like it's trending in the right direction. It sounds like it. Like, it sounds nice. I'm just not quite 100% sure if it's going to happen. So we'll have to kind of wait to see how it all shakes out. Now, if you guys have just joined, we got 41 people in here right now. Definitely do me one huge favor. Smack that like button on this video. It helps out tremendously. I don't think, you guys always think I'm lying when I say this. It actually does help the channel grow out. So smack that like button if this is your first time here. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're on the road to 10K. I can't do it without you guys, so definitely subscribe and like the video. Also, I did start a new channel, maybe not new now, it's been months already in the making, but it's called the NFC West Network. If you guys are interested in talking about anything NFC West, it's mainly talking about a lot of, crap talking back and forth to each other. If you are interested, it is on the description of this video on YouTube. So if you're watching on Facebook, I did see a thumbs up on Facebook. Make your way over to YouTube, search up the NFC West Network, go ahead and give it a subscription. It's absolutely for free. You don't have to get charged anything, and there's got some good content coming your way for everybody in the NFC West. It's a good conversation. So now that we're done with all that, I want to get to the I want to get to the predictions of this game, right? I think this game is really going to come down to who plays the best, right? It's as simple as that. Who makes the least amount of mistakes? Who's going to be the team that's going to have the best run game? Who's going to be the team that has time of possession? Who's going to be the team that protects their quarterback the best? That's what this game's going to come down to. We got two teams, ladies and gentlemen, two teams right now that are 0-1, and they can very well be 0-2 going into the week 3. So we got the possibility, right? We got the possibility of being a 1-1 team. But that usually means on the other side of the coin, there's going to be a team that's going to be 0-2. And we don't want to be that team. Trust me. Both of us, the Raiders as well as the Arizona Cardinals, are both playing in very tough, competitive divisions. The Arizona Cardinals are sitting in the NFC West, right? The Seahawks right now, for some reason, they're looking a lot better than I thought they were going to look like. We got the 49ers with Trey Lance. We don't 100% know exactly what they're going to look like for the rest of the season. The Rams that just won the Super Bowl. And then we got us, a tough division. And then we got the AFC West, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Chargers. It's a tough ask. It's a tough ask. None of us want to find ourselves 0-2. Because do you know who we play after this week, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know who we play after week 2? Arizona Cardinal fans. I'll give you a second. Okay, second over. We play the Los Angeles Rams. We don't want to find ourselves in a situation where we're like, oh my goodness, we can possibly be 0-3. Because the Rams have our number. Whether you would want to admit it or not, the Rams have our number. So we need this game. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. So predictions for this Arizona Cardinal team versus the Raiders. I feel optimistic, right? It might be foolish optimism, right? It might be a little bit. But I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals can pull off the win as long as we take care of what we need to take care of, establish the run game, protect Kyler Murray, and it's hard for me to say that this defense is going to be able to stop a nosebleed because I don't think they can. This defense needs to step up, maybe getting 1 turnover, maybe 2 turnovers. But I do have confidence that this Arizona Cardinal team can win. Can win. We just need to do the right things, which are the keys to success that I just mentioned. So let's talk predictions, right? I want to make sure that everybody in the comments has an opportunity to give their prediction and what they feel like is going to happen on this Arizona Cardinals versus Raiders team. Now, what I believe is going to happen here for the Arizona Cardinals versus Raiders, yes, I'm going to say the Cardinals are going to win. Yes, I do agree that it might be optimistic because we look so terrible in week 1. I'm just going to chalk it up to say, hey, it was week 1. A lot of people have terrible games in week 1, right? I believe the Arizona Cardinals will win this game by the score prediction of 27-24. There's no way in heck that this Arizona Cardinal team is probably going to hold that Raiders team to less than 15 points. 16, 17, 18. Nah, it's going to be in the 20s, if not 30s. Because if they score 30s, I hope we score 30s too. It's going to be a tough ask. It really is. Their weapons over there are tough. They're not the Raiders of old, ladies and gentlemen. They got Devontae Adams, who he had 130 plus yards in week 1. Devontae Adams had 130 plus yards in week 1. They got Darren Waller over there. They got Hunter Renfrow that, he doesn't get a lot of respect, but he should. Great route runner. And then that's not to mention their running back and Jacobs. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game, but a winnable game. A tough game, but a winnable game. I believe this Arizona Cardinal team really feels like the way we're going to get through this year is just points, points, points. But if our offense can't get it right, the points aren't going to matter. Because we could still put up 28 points on a team, but if they put up 35, then they win. So we need to figure out a way to make some stops. I'm only hoping, ladies and gentlemen, that week 1 was as bad as week 1 was because it was Patrick Mahomes. And we just had an off week, right? That's what I'm holding. That's what I'm holding my hopes to. That's what I'm holding my hopes to. But we'll see. After week 2, you're either going to get a very happy Mike. We're 1-1. Let's go. Sky's the limit. Super Bowl, here we come. Right? Dramatic. Or we're going to be an 0-2 team. And that's where we do not want to find ourselves in this tough division that we're currently in right now. Now, the best thing that we got going for us is the NFC looks pretty weak. The AFC looks pretty freaking good. The AFC easily has about 2 or 3 or 4 powerhouses on that side of the conference. The NFC looks weak compared to them. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. I just want to see with what week 2 has. Because let's be honest, if you were on social media, you at least had 10% of fans saying, well, it's just week 1. Right? And that irked me. I'm not going to lie to you. That irked me. That absolutely irked me. I don't like that idea. I hate it. It's just week 1? Okay. I guess. But you need to keep a level of maybe we can do it, right? You gotta have to kind of keep that. Or this is going to be a very, very long season for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm just trying to think a little positive here. I'm trying to think a little optimistic. And this is a winnable game. It is. It is a winnable game. We don't want to find ourselves 0-2. Let's just put it that way. We don't want to find ourselves 0-2. We got some people on the chat saying, fire Cliff already. Wow. Well, you know me, man. You know me. I've been talking about Cliff Kingsbury for quite some time. I'm not one of those that are just starting to get on that wagon, right? Get rid of Cliff, get rid of Steve Keim. I've been talking about them since this channel has been existing on YouTube. I've been talking about them for a bit. There's no difference. I still feel the same. I don't feel like Cliff Kingsbury is going to give us a Super Bowl. I don't. We can ride the mediocrity train for a bit. And it sucks because the Arizona Cardinals will probably accept it. The fan base will probably accept it. But I've been talking about Cliff Kingsbury for a bit. If you're really new to this AZ sports fan here, right, on YouTube, and you have time one day, scroll through all the videos. You'll take a look. Maybe by the time every single season ends, I probably have a video saying Cliff Kingsbury should get fired. Cliff Kingsbury is the worst head coach in the NFC West. There needs to be big changes for the Arizona Cardinals to succeed. I say that every single end of the season. Every single one of them. And it's not going to change unless the fan bases change. It's not going to change unless they really do feel the fire under them. It's not going to change unless we actually hold them accountable. That's when it's going to change. But we're thinking positive, right? We're thinking on this game here, which is a very not easy. It's an easy game. I'm sorry. Choose my words wisely, right? Choose my words wisely. Sorry. This is a winnable game. It's not going to be easy. They're a tough team. They got weapons that will make us wish that we had better people on defense. This is going to be a tough game, but a winnable one. And I feel the Raiders feel the same way about us. Hopefully, right? Fingers crossed. Maybe the Raiders feel the same way about us. Maybe they don't. Maybe they saw with the way we looked in Kansas City and they're like, dude, these guys suck. Right? That might also work to our advantage. That might also work to our advantage. So yeah, my guy L Raiders, what's up, man? He said, we got a talented roster. I would question your coaching staff. Facts. 100%. There's absolutely no reason why this Arizona Cardinal team looked the way we looked. Lethargic, out of sync, unmotivated. Couldn't convert a third down until maybe the last 8 minutes of the fourth, when Kansas City was playing absolutely soft. There's no reason. Our team is stacked. So I've been talking about it for a bit. That Cliff Kingsbury, it almost kind of feels like he's just way over his head. But I'm going to try to be a little optimistic, right? What I do still feel like this Arizona Cardinal team can make a noise. I still do think that this Arizona Cardinal team can get it right. Our roster is too darn talented in terms of on paper to not make a push for the playoffs, especially because the NFC isn't very strong. If you look at the NFC, who's the big ones out there, right? Tampa with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay Packers, the Rams. There's still so much other room. There's still so much other room for this NFC to really kind of come out. Now, Aaron Rodgers didn't look very good. I'm aware of that. Tom Brady didn't look like Tom Brady. Matthew Stafford didn't look like Matthew Stafford, right? Wait. Kyler Murray didn't look like Kyler Murray. So I'm going to chalk it up to week 1. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. But I honestly do feel like this Arizona Cardinal team can make a push. We just got to make sure that we're looking ourselves in the mirror and actually meaning it, right? Holding ourselves accountable. Really getting down to the nitty gritty and figuring out, we can do this. Our team is great. We just got to get the job done. That's it. Just got to get the job done. Let's read a couple comments up here. I do got some channel members up in here right now. Appreciate the channel members. We got Anish up here. He says the coach / management / ownership. It's like a bad trio. It's fair. King Plumtree says is in a away game. Cards should bounce back. Otherwise, it's going to be a long season. Facts. The other thing that we have going for us is that we don't play good at home. I don't get it. Right? I don't understand why we don't play good at home. Why we haven't figured that out yet is beyond me. But yeah, it is a way. Maybe we just have some sort of good juju, right? Not, playing at our own home. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. What's up, Jordan P says the issue was with Vance and the O-line, not Cliff, Kyler, or the defensive players. So the issue was with Vance and the offensive line, not Cliff, Kyler, or the defensive players. It's hard to choose that route, in my opinion. And the biggest reason why I would say it's on all of them. It is. It's on all of them. Cliff for not getting prepared for this game. Yeah, Vance Joseph had a really crappy game plan on defense. Facts. That's very true. The offensive line did look like Swiss cheese, right? We had Kyler Murray on on his bum a lot. He seemed like he was getting pressured a lot. But also, too, on the other side of the coin, Kyler Murray didn't have a fantastic game. There's no reason on 3rd and 2 we should be putting Kyler Murray in shotgun and throwing the ball deep. There's no reason for that at all. You have James Conner. Run the darn game. Run the darn ball. Run it. That's what it comes down to. It's on everybody. It is. This whole team didn't show up at all. So yeah, I do agree with the whole Vance. I agree with the offensive line, but also too, I think it's on Kyler too. It's on Kyler. It's on Cliff. It's on everybody. This whole team just looked lethargic. It looked like we couldn't catch a break. We just didn't know what we were doing. Literally, by the time this halftime got there, now I did go to the game. I did have the privilege of going to State Farm Stadium, right? The privilege of going to State Farm Stadium. By the time halftime was over, there was no enthusiasm by Cardinal fans, ladies and gentlemen. No enthusiasm. Cardinal fans were chilling, talking about their day. Chiefs fans were having the day of their lives, chopping it up. It was crazy. And it does boil down to culture. It does. It boils down to culture. I do hope and believe one day that this Arizona Cardinal organization can build a culture that we all would love to see, right? Like your Baltimore Ravens, like your Steelers, like the Green Bay Packers, that type of culture where even if you have your number one wide receiver down, you still do feel like it's any given Sunday and you can win a game. I'm hoping one day, but it does start at the top though. It starts at the top. And we just don't have that now. We just don't have that now. And it's obvious, right? I ended up posting something on Twitter not too long ago. It was on one of the reporters. He's saying something about Kyler Murray was saying something along the lines of like, we need to look ourselves in the mirror and, we need to really start asking ourselves all these questions. Like, to me, these questions shouldn't be a question in year 4, right? If the regime has stayed for a consistent Cliff Kingsbury, Vance Joseph, there hasn't been turnaround. The culture should have been stayed. But if we have people questioning, already, man, oof. It's week 1. Why are we questioning? What are we questioning? Let me give you the exact one real quick, because sometimes I get a little hyped up. Sometimes I get a little kind of ahead of myself. Let me give you the exact tweet. Let me give you the exact tweet that I ended up putting here. Where is it at? Let me find. I got you guys right here. Just give me 1 second. It's right here somewhere because I know it happened yesterday. Okay, here it is from Paul Calvisi. He says, Kyler Kyler tells the media, when you get beat like that at home in game one, it's got to be a wake-up call for whoever felt complacent. Who the heck feels complacent right now? It's week one. Why are you feeling complacent? Let's keep talking. You got to look in the mirror individually, or you got to look in the mirror individually. You really want to be, or do you really want to be here, or do you really want to be great? What drives you? Those are the questions I feel like need to be asked. Now, to me, what Kyler Murray said, I am all up for. I agree on what he said. I love the fact that he's calling people out and being like, hey, you need to look in the mirror. I agree with everything Kyler Murray said. My questioning is, why the heck are people feeling this? Where's the sense of entitlement? Where's the sense of accomplishment in this locker room? We did nothing. We did nothing so far. We went to the playoffs and got absolutely obliterated. If we're going to sit here and say we have great culture, I would second guess you. We don't. If right now, this whole offseason, going into the fourth year, and Kyler Murray, one of the leaders, comes out and says this, we might have a lot more question marks in this locker room than we all would hope we did. It sucks to say, but by the halftime, by half, this game wasn't even attainable. Patrick Mahomes did everything he possibly could to take this Arizona Cardinal team out. And what did he do? It was the game plan that we talked about. How do we stop Patrick Mahomes? Keep him on the sidelines. That's what they did to the Arizona Cardinals. And they executed it to a T. That's what culture does. That's without Tyreek Hill. That's with a lot of wide receivers that eventually will get a name. To us, we got all the pieces. It just almost kind of feels like the players don't feel it. And sometimes you just got to motivate them. Starts with the coaching staffs, goes up to GM, goes up to the owner. I do want more for this Arizona Cardinal team, but I have no problem at all with calling how I see it. I want this Arizona Cardinal team to succeed. I really do. Some people don't think I do, but I do. I want a Super Bowl. I want it. I'll have to kind of wait and see. Illa Dre with the first super chat of the day. Appreciate you, Illa Dre. Thank you so very much. Help funding this YouTube channel. Thank you so very much, Illa Dre. He says, we should have elevated Chandler Wooten and Manny Jones. Why not get Joe Hayden? Well, this is the question that we've been asking for a while now. Why, A, are we feeling so complacent? Why, B, does Steve Keim feel like we can't evolve more, right? Why does Steve Keim feel like this roster is set? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I do feel like podcasts like this that actually give you the real feeling of like, man, we might be in more trouble than we think. Like, it's not all rainbows and butterflies, right? It really isn't. And if you're watching people like that and that's what you like, cool. But to me, I'm going to give you the real. And to me, there's a lot of questionable things. A lot of questionable things from this Arizona Cardinals, front office. Steve Keim. Not a fan of him. Really not. Now, Chandler Wooten, I liked what he did on preseason, right? There's going to be some people that say that Chandler Wooten did it because it was preseason, right? He was playing against second, third stringers. But, I mean, did our defense look any better? Like, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? Did our defense look any better than what he probably can provide? I don't know. To kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. But I appreciate the super chat, my guy. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Now, going back to the Paul Calvisi's tweet, after he said that, I said, that tells you the culture in this locker room is non-existent. Now, of course, you got some people chiming in. Blah, 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 blah. talking about things like, oh, that actually, some guy says, actually, that says the opposite since the QB. Well, see, here's the thing. Me, I like that the Kyler Murray said this. I really do. I like that I like where the quarterback said this. I really do. I love the accountability that he's trying to throw out there. The culture kind of poke was at the fact that why are we even asking these questions right now, right? 4 years. Why? Another super chat here from Illadre. Appreciate you, man. Moneybags Illadre. Appreciate you. He says, Cliff gives the opponent too much respect. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Every time. Doesn't give us respect, right? Not us. No, not us. We want to respect and give credit to the other team. Not for us, though. It's too much to do. It's too much to handle. I'm actually very surprised we're sitting in 4 years of Cliff Kingsbury. Like, literally. Well, I'm actually more surprised that Cliff Kingsbury has a 5-year extension. Like, I'm more surprised about that. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, way to jump the gun on that one, Michael Bidwell. Way to jump the gun on that one. Yeah, the culture's a little worrisome. Now, winning solves everything, right? Winning solves everything. Let's say this Arizona Cardinal team comes out and does what Kansas City did to us. Let's say we live in that world for now. Let's say we live in that world. What if they do that? Hey, we're going to have a different conversations next week. We're going to have a different conversation next week for sure. So winning cures all. If we're 1-1 going into week 3, Kansas City will be a mere thought. Kansas City will be an absolute mere thought. We just got to take care of what we can take care of. And that was the X factors that I mentioned earlier in the stream. It's possible. This is a winnable game. It is. It's an absolutely winnable game. It's not going to be easy. That team is tough. That team doesn't want to be 0-2 like we don't want to be 0-2. We just got to take care of what we can take care of. Keenan says, I'm only satisfied if we make the playoffs. I'll do we one better, Keenan. I'm only satisfied if we go to the playoffs and win a playoff game. That would be my satisfaction. Going to the playoffs is nothing to me. Get me to the next level, and that's take me to the playoffs and win a darn playoff game. That's the next step for this Arizona Cardinal team. Anything else shouldn't be accepted from this fan base. It shouldn't be. Anything else shouldn't be accepted from this fan base. Anything more than going to the playoffs and winning a playoff game. I'll take a win by 3. I will. Heck yeah. I'm not asking for a blowout. I'm just asking to get more points than the other team. That's all I'm asking for. Can this Arizona Cardinal team win a game in 2022? We got a tough stretch. The stretch without DeAndre Hopkins is tough. It's tough. So we'll have to kind of see how it all shakes out. We got my guy Lennon says Super Bowl. No, we're not talking about Super Bowl, man. We're not talking. Don't even mention Super Bowl. Don't even mention it. Let's win a game first. Let's win a game first, and let's win a playoff game first, and then we can talk Super Bowl. I don't feel like this team should be in the conversation of that. They shouldn't be. Matthew here says Jones is licking his chops. I agree. I'm worried. Oh yeah, I'm worried. You guys got the Raiders have some good people on that defensive line. With Jones is going to try to do everything in his power. Trust me. Jones is going to do everything in his power to try to get a sack and try to wreak havoc on our offensive line. Trust me. Trust me. We shouldn't even be thinking about playoffs right now, y'all. We should not even thinking about playoffs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. We shouldn't be thinking about Super Bowl. I'm sorry. My bad. We should be thinking about playoffs. I apologize. Stupid me. We should be thinking about playoffs. Don't think about Super Bowl. That's the mere thought. Just because it's here and the trend has been right. That's what people. That's the thing. People are so leaning heavily on the trend that they've been seeing. LA just did it. Why not the Cardinals? Because the Cardinals have Cliff Kingsbury as their head coach. They have Steve Keim. They can't do a darn thing right. Another super chat coming in here. Appreciate you. I got S. Contreras in the house. Says, that's the problem with us fans. We get one win and completely change how we feel. We got to keep that same energy and hold them accountable. I agree. No, facts, 100% agree. 100% agree. Now, this stretch, I agree with you right there. Trust me. Choir, or what's the word? I'm right there with you. Same wavelength. Facts. But 1-1 feels a lot better than 0-2. That's for darn sure. You know what I mean? That's for darn sure. 1-1 feels better than 1-2. So we don't have to worry about Kansas City is what I was trying to say. But like we got some tough matchups. Like week 3, tough. Week 4, week 5, week 6 is when we play the Seattle Seahawks. That might be the only really winnable game. Week 4 and 5 will only be tough for Arizona Cardinals. Any other team, they'll look at Philly and they'll look at the Panthers and be like, oh, that's a win. You know, that's a win. For us, we don't do good with the Panthers at all. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. But I do agree with you, though, S. I do agree. Complacency, it's an ugly thing. Mediocrity, it's an ugly thing. We don't want that. We don't need that. We need playoffs. And we need to win a playoff game. That's just the way that it is. That's just the way that it is. Now, let me do one quick plug in here, right? Because we're about to come into the end of the stream here, ladies and gentlemen. And I appreciate you guys for being here. We got 50 people or 44 people right now in the house. Appreciate everybody for coming through. It absolutely doesn't mean the world to me. If you guys haven't already, I did start a new channel-ish. It's called the NFC West Network. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to it. I highly do recommend you do so. It's actually very good content, if I might say so myself. So here it is. The NFC West Network. It's on YouTube. So yeah, that's me right there with the really cool. We got Peo, we got Noah, and then we got CG Ruthless Sports. If you haven't already subscribed, I highly recommend you subscribe because we go live every Tuesday and we talk smack to the other teams that didn't do very well. It's fun. Trust me. None of us expected the Seahawks to do exactly what they did. Now they're sitting at number 1. Nobody expected that. Trust me. If you want to go to a community that people love everything about the NFC West, check out the NFC West Network. Definitely subscribe to it. We're trying to get to 1K, and we're just trying to build as big as we possibly can over there. So make sure you definitely check it out if you guys haven't already. The NFC West Network, and it should be in the description of this video if I'm not mistaken. If it's not there, just go to the search bar and go to the NFC West Network, and you'll find it right there. Super, super easy. Jonathan, what's up? He says, why isn't Joe Bags in the NFC West? So the biggest reason why is because he ended up getting a career with something completely different, and his life is like mad busy. So he's like really, really doing very well for himself, and has a really awesome dream job that he has that he needs to focus on that. That's why. But I'm hoping that we actually get Joe Bags back on it, maybe for a couple episodes. We've been in talks, so we'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. Great call out. Great call out. Matthew says bad ownership, a ugly thing. Keim Bar. Yeah, no, I agree. 100% agree. So we are coming to our hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Bass says, what's up, AZ Sports fan? Remember to set your lineups. 100%. We do have a game in about 15 minutes coming. We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers, y'all. So if you have anybody in your fantasy footballs, make sure you stay tuned because that's going to be a very, 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 very good game. Go Chargers is what I'm going to say because what the Chiefs did to us. So we are coming close to the hour mark. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. By the way, this absolutely does mean the world that you guys are coming here, chopping it up with me and just talking everything Arizona Cardinals. I do know that, once we kind of get to a level of happiness, everything will be better, right? A lot of people don't like to talk about the losses. I do. Give me a mic, give me a camera. I'd love to talk about losses because I'm going to be ranting. you know I'm going to be pissed off. You know you're going to be getting a fireworks show. Just turn your volume down. That's all I ask. Turn your volume down. But I'm very, very excited, ladies and gentlemen. This is the start. We're going into week 2. There's still some hope. There's still some promise for this Arizona Cardinal team to really get this corrected. We'll have to kind of wait to see how it all shakes out. Matthew says, go Cards, W or lose. Always a fan. Facts. 100%. 100%. Same way. Feel exactly the same way. All right, everybody. We most likely will be ending the stream here pretty soon. We got about 3 minutes. Give me your best questions you possibly can think of right now in the chat. We got about 3 to 4 minutes. Maybe, no, actually more like 3 minutes. So maybe have a time to answer like a question or two, if need be, of at least how my opinion is everything. So put everything in the comments below or on the chat, and we can kind of go from there. Chat it up. Let's see what we can come up with. We got my guy Ray here says the season is lost. Don't give up yet, man. Don't give up yet. We still got a little bit of time. Do aliens exist? Per Thomas DeLonge, the guy from Blink-182, aliens do exist, and I'm going to stick with that answer. Let's see here. Anish says, how about we bring Kurt Warner to give a pep talk to this team? Yeah, I mean, I'm down with pep talks. I'm down with them. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, like, because I even thought that way about Larry Fitzgerald, right? Like, why not bring Larry? Larry has got the talent. Larry has done it. But sometimes there's like a level of just new young people that have come into this organization that maybe don't look at them as the way that fans do. I know it sucks to say, but maybe you just kind of lose your level of your voice as you get older, as, you know, because the game is different too. The game is different. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. We really do. Let's see here. Could Vance Joseph be the hot? Yeah, fat, 100%. Jonathan, yeah. I actually might think that if this game or this year goes sour, who's going to be the guy who's going to be the scapegoat? Vance Joseph will be. Vance Joseph will be. Yep. He will be the scapegoat. Which honestly, they should all get fired. If this season goes south, they should all get fired. Cliff, Vance, Keim. Get him out. Start new. Keep Kyler. King says, you don't got to tell me the exact number, but ballpark, how much did you pay a year for the season ticket? I know it was over 1,000. Less than 1,500, more than 1,000. That's 2 tickets too. Over 1,000, less than 1,500. 2 tickets. Maybe one last question before we cut it off here. Let's give it about 30 more seconds. If not, we will be closing shop. I appreciate everybody for coming through because this has been an absolute fun talk today. I'm excited. Arizona Cardinals versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's bring it on. That's what we're all here for. Let's see what week 2 holds for this Arizona Cardinal team. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for being here. We are going to end the stream as of right now. If you guys haven't already smacked the like button, definitely do so right now. Smack the like button. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. As well, if you look at the description of this video, you're going to see the NFC West Network. Subscribe to the NFC West Network. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers over there. Subscribe and just support. That's all I can ask from you. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.